St. Patrick's Day, or the Scheming Lieutenant, a farce. By Richard Brinsley Sheridan. I say you are wrong. We should all speak together, each for himself and all at once, that we may be heard the better.
All right, Jack. We'll argue in platoons.
Aye, let him have our grievances in a volley. And if we be to have a spokesman, there's the corporal, is the lieutenant's countryman, and knows his humour.
Let me alone for that. I served 3 years within a bit, under his honour, in the Royal Inskillions, and I never will see a sweeter-tempered gentleman, nor one more free with his purse. I put a great shamrock in his hat this morning, and I'll be bound for him, he'll wear it. Was it as big as Stephen's Green?
I say again, then you talk like youngsters, like militia, striplings. There's a discipline, looking in all things, whereof the sergeant must be our guide. He's a gentleman of words. He understands your foreign lingo, your figures, and such like auxiliaries in scoring. Confess now for a reckoning, whether in chalk or writing, bean't he your only man?
Why, the sergeant is a scholar, to be sure, and has the gift of reading.
Good soldiers and fellow gentlemen, if you make me your spokesman, you will show the more judgment, and let me alone for the argument. I'll be as loud as a drum, and point blank from the purpose.
Agreed!
Oh, faith. Oh, here comes the lieutenant. Now, sergeant.
So then, to order. Put on your mutiny's looks. Every man grumble a little to himself, and some of you hum the deserters' march.
Well, honest lads, what is it you have to complain of?
So please, your honour, the very grievance of the matter is this. Ever since your honour deferred with Justice Credulous, our innkeepers use us most scurvily. By my halbert, their treatment is such that if your spirit was willing to put up with it, flesh and blood could by no means agree. So, we humbly petition that your honour would make an end of the matter at once, by running away with the justice's daughter, or else get us fresh quarters.
Yeah. Indeed. Pray, which of the houses use you ill?
There's the Red Lion, and half the civility of the old Red Lion.
Well, there's the White Horse. If he wasn't case hardened, ought to be ashamed to show his face.
Very well. The horse and the lion shall answer for it at the quarter sessions.
The two magpies are civil enough. The angel uses us like devils, and the rising sun refuses us light to go to bed by.
Then upon my word, I'll have the rising sun put down, and the angel shall give security for his good behaviour. But are you sure you do nothing to quit scars with them?
Nothing at all, Your Honor. Unless now and then we happen to fling a cartridge into the kitchen fire or put a spatterdash or so into the soup. And sometimes Ned drums up and downstairs a little of the night.
Oh, that's all fair. Oh, that's fair. Harky, lads. I must have no grumbling on St. Patrick's Day. So here, take this, and divide it amongst you. But observe me now. Show yourselves men of spirit, and don't spend sixpence of it in drink.
Nay, hang it, Your Honor. Soldiers should never bear malice. We must drink St. Patrick's and Your Honor's health.
Oh, damn malice. St. Patrick and his honors, by all means.
By all means.
Come away then, lads. First we will parade around the market cross for the honor of King George.
Thank Your Honor. Come along. St. Patrick his honor and strong beer forever.
Get along, you thoughtless vagabonds. Yet upon my conscience, 'tis very hard these poor fellows should scarcely have bread from the soil they would die to defend. Ah! My little Dr. Rosy. My gal on the bridge. What's the news?
All things are as they were, my Alexander. The justice is as violent as ever. I felt his pulse on the matter again, and thinking his rage began to intermit, I wanted to throw in the bark of good advice, but it would not do. He says you and your cutthroats have a plot upon his life, and swears he'd rather see his daughter in a scarlet fever than in the arms of a soldier.
Upon my word, the army is very much obliged to him. Well, then I must marry the girl first, and ask for his consent afterwards.
So then, the case of her fortune is desperate, hey?
Oh, hang fortune. Let that take its chance. There's a beauty in Loretta's simplicity, so pure a bloom upon her charms.
So there is. You are for beauty as nature made her, hey? No artificial graces, no cosmetic varnish, no beauty in grey, hey?
Upon my word, Doctor, you are right. The London ladies were always too handsome for me. And they are so defended. Such a circumvallation of hoop, with a breastwork of whalebone that would turn a pistol bullet, much less Cupid's arrows. Then turrets on top, with stores of concealed weapons, under pretense of black pins, and above all, a standard of feathers that would do honor to a knight of the Bath. But my conscience, I could as soon embrace an Amazon, armed at all points.
All right, my Alexander, my taste to a tittle.
Then, Doctor, though I admire modesty in women, I like to see their faces. I am for a changeable rose, but with one of these quality Amazons. If their midnight dissipations had left them blood enough to raise a blush, they have not room enough in their cheeks to show it. To be sure, bashfulness is a very pretty thing, but in my mind, there is nothing on earth so impudent as an everlasting blush.
My taste. Well, Lauretta is none of these. I never see her, but she put me in mind of my poor dear wife.
Aye, faith. In my opinion, she can't do a worse thing. Now he is going to bother me about an old hag that has been dead these 6 years.
Oh, poor Dolly. I never shall see her like again. Such an arm for a bandage. Veins that seem to invite the lancet. Then her skin, smooth and white as a gallipot. Her mouth, as large, not larger than the mouth of a penny file. Her lips, conserve of roses, and then her teeth, oh, None of your sturdy fixture. Ache as they would, it was but a small pull, and out they came. I believe I have drawn half a score of her poor dear pearls. Oh, but what avails her beauty? Death has no consideration. One must die as well as another.
Oh, if he begins to moralize.
Fair and ugly, crooked and no straight, rich or poor, flesh is grass, flowers fade.
Here, Doctor. Take a pinch. Keep up your spirits.
Oh, true, my friend. Grief cannot mend the matter. All's for the best. But such a woman was a great loss, Lieutenant.
To be sure. For doubtless she had mental accomplishments equal to her beauty.
Mental accomplishments! She would have stuffed an alligator or pickled a lizard with any apothecary's wife in the kingdom! Why? She could decipher a prescription and invent the ingredients almost as well as myself. Then she was such a hand at making foreign waters for seltzer, Permont, Hylington, or Shallabeit. She never had her equal. And her bath and in Bristol Springs exceeded the originals. Poor Dolly! She fell a martyr to her own discoveries.
How so? Pray.
Poor soul. Her illness was occasioned by her zeal in trying an improvement on the spa water by an infusion of rum and acid.
Aye. Spirits never agree with water drinkers.
No, you mistake! Rum agreed with her well enough. It was not the rum that killed the poor dear creature, for she died of a dropsy. Well, she is gone, never to return, and has left no pledge of our loves behind. No little babe to hang like a label around Papa's neck. Well, we are all mortal. Sooner or later, flesh is grass, flowers fade.
Oh, the devil. Again?
Life's a shadow, the world a stage. We strut an hour.
Here, Doctor.
True, my friend. Well, high grief cannot cure it. All's for the best, hey, my little Alexander.
Right. An apothecary should never be out of spirits. But come, Faith. This time one is to Humphrey. Humphrey should wait on the justice. That must be our first scheme.
Oh, true. You should be ready. The clothes are at my house, and I have given you such a character that he is impatient to have you. He swears you shall be his bodyguard. Well, I honor the army, or I should never do so much to serve you.
Indeed, I am bound to you forever, Doctor. And once I'm possessed of my dear Lauretta, I will endeavor to make work for you as fast as possible.
Now you put me in mind of my poor wife again.
Pray. Forgive her a little. It shall be too late.
Darling!
It's past 12.
Inhuman dropsy!
The justice will wait.
Corrupt in her prime!
For heaven's sake, come!
Well, flesh is grass.
Oh, the devil.
We must all die!
Doctor!
Kings, lords, and commodores! Oh, ow.
I repeat it again, Mama. Officers are the prettiest men in the world, and Lieutenant O'Connor is the prettiest officer I ever saw.
Oh, for shame, Laura. How can you talk so? Or if you must have a military man, there's Lieutenant Plow or Captain Haycock or Major Dre, the brewer, all your admirers. And though they are peaceable, good kind of men, they have as large cockades and become scarlet, as well as the fighting folks.
Ah, you know, Mama, I hate militia officers, a set of dunghill cocks with spurs on. Heroes scratched off a church door. Clowns in a military masquerade wearing the dress without supporting the character. No, give me the bold, upright youth who makes love today and his head shot off tomorrow. Dear, to think how the sweet fellows sleep on the ground and fight in silk stockings and lace ruffles.
Oh, barbarous. To want a husband that may wed you today and be sent to the Lord knows where before night. Then in a 12-month, perhaps to have him come like a colossus with one leg at New York and the other at Chelsea Hospital.
Then I will be his crutch, Mama.
No, give me a husband that knows where his limbs are, though he want the use of them. And if he should take you with him to sleep in a baggage cart and stroll about the camp like a gypsy with a knapsack and 2 children on your back, then by way of entertainment in the evening, to make a party with the sergeant's wife, to drink boho tea and play at all fours on a drumhead. 'Tis a precious life, to be sure.
Nay, Mama, you shouldn't be against my lieutenant. For I hear him say that you are the best natured and best-looking woman in the world.
Why, child, I never said but that Lieutenant O'Connor was a very well-bred and discerning young man. 'Tis your papa is so violent against him.
Why, Cousin Sophie married an officer.
Aye, Laura, an officer of the militia.
No, indeed, ma'am. Marching regiment.
No, child, I tell you, he was a major of the militia.
Indeed, Mama, it wasn't.
Bridget, my love, I've had a message.
It was Cousin Sophie told me so.
I've had a message, love.
No, child, she would say no such thing.
A message, I say.
How could he be in the militia when he was ordered abroad?
Aye, girl, hold your tongue. Well, my dear?
I've had a message from Dr. Rosy.
He ordered abroad. He went abroad for his health.
Why, Bridget.
Well, dearie. Now hold your tongue, miss.
A message from Dr. Rosy. And Dr. Rosy says...
I'm sure, Mama, his regimentals...
Oh, damn his regimentals. Why don't you listen?
Aye, girl, durst you interrupt your papa?
Well, Papa...
Dr. Rosy says he'll bring...
We're turned blue. We're blue turned up with red, Mama.
Laurie! Says he will bring the young man.
Red. Yellow, if you please, miss.
Bridget! The young man that is to be hired.
Besides, miss, he's very unbecoming, and you want to have the last word with your mamma. You should know that...
Why, zoons! Will you hear me or no?
I am listening, my love, I am listening. But what signifies my silence? What good is my not speaking a word if this girl will interrupt and let nobody speak but herself? I don't wonder, my life, at your impatience. Your poor dear lips quiver to speak. But I suppose she'll run on and not let you put in a word. You may very well be angry. There is nothing sure so provoking as a chattering, talking...
Nay, I'm sure, Mama. It is you who will not let Papa speak now, so...
Why, you little provoking...
Get out of the room directly. Both of you. Get out!
Aye. Go, girl.
Go, Bridget. You are worse than she, you old hag. I wish you were both to the neck in the canal to argue there till I took you out.
Dr. Rosy, sir.
Show him up.
Then you own it, Mama. It was a marching regiment.
You're an obstinate fool, I tell you. For if that had been the case...
You won't go.
We are going, Mr. Surly. If that had been the case, I say, how could...
Name, Mama, one proof.
How could Major...
And of all proof. Fine.
There they go. Ding-dong in for the day. Good lack. Fluent tongue is the only thing a mother don't like her daughter to resemble her in. Well, Doctor, where's the lad? Where's Trusty?
What hand? He'll be here in a minute. I'll answer for it. He's such a one as you won't meet with, brave as a lion, gentle as a saline draught.
Ah, he comes in the place of a rogue, a dog that was corrupted by the lieutenant. But this is a sturdy fellow, is he, Doctor?
As Hercules! And the best backsword in the country. God, he'll make the red coats keep their distance.
Oh, the villains! This is St. Patrick's Day, and the rascals have been parading my house all morning. I know they have. A design upon me, but I have taken all precautions. I have magazines of arms, and if this fellow does not prove faithful, I shall be more at ease.
Doubtless he'll be a comfort to you.
There's a man below, inquires for Dr. Rosy.
Oh, show him up.
Hold! A little caution. How does he look?
A country-looking fellow, your worship.
Oh, well. Dr. Rosy, these rascals try all ways to get in here.
Yes, please, your worship. There was one here this morning wanted to speak to you. Said his name was Corporal Breakbone.
Corporal Breakbone?
And drummer Crackskull came again.
Aye. Did you ever hear of such a damn confounded crew? Well, show the lad in here.
Aye, he'll be your porter. He'll give the rogues an answer.
So, a toll.
Oh, a toll? If facts? What? Has lost an eye?
Only a bruise he got in taking 7 or 8 highwaymen.
He has a damned wicked leer, somehow with the other.
Oh, no, he's bashful, a sheepish look.
Well, my lad, what's your name?
Humphrey Hum.
Hum. I don't like hum.
What I mostly be called Honest Humphrey.
There, I told you so, of noted honesty.
Well, honest Humphrey, the doctor has told you of my terms, and you are willing to serve, eh?
And please, your worship, I shall be well content.
Well then, harkee, honest Humphrey. You are sure now you will never be a rogue? Never take a bribe, eh, honest Humphrey?
A bribe? What's that?
A very ignorant fellow indeed.
His worship hopes you will not part with your honesty for money.
Oh, no.
Well said, Humphrey. My chief business with you is to watch the motions of a rake-helly fellow here, one Lieutenant O'Connor.
Aye, you don't value the soldier, do you, Humphrey?
Not I. They are but swaggerers, and you'll see there will be much as afraid of me as they would of their captain.
And i' faith, Humphrey, you have a pretty cudgel there.
Aye, a switch is better than nothing. But I should be glad of a stouter. Huh? Have you got such a thing in the house as an old coach pole or a spare bedpost?
Ohms, what a dragon it is. Well, Humphreys, come with me. I'll show you, I'll just show him to Bridget, Doctor, and we'll agree. Come along, honest Humphreys.
My dear doctor. Now, remember to bring the Justice presently to the walk. I have a scheme to get into his confidence at once.
I will.
Why, honest Humphrey? Hey, what the devil are you at?
I was just giving him a little advice. Well, I must go for the present. Good morning to your worship. You need not fear the lieutenant while he is in your house.
Well, get in, Humphrey. Good morning to you, Doctor. Come along, Humphrey. Now, I think I am a match for the lieutenant and all his gang.
Oh.
Come, silence your drum. There is no valor stirring today. I thought St. Patrick would have given us a recruit or two today.
Mark, silent!
Oh, these are the lads I was looking for. They have the look of gentlemen. Aren't you single, my lads?
Yes, and please you, I be quite single. My relations be all dead, thank heavens, more or less. I have but one poor mother left in the world, and she's a helpless woman.
Indeed. A very extraordinary case. Quite your own master, then. The fitter to serve his majesty. Can you read?
No, I was always too lively to take to learning, but John here is main clever at it.
So, what, you're a scholar, friend?
I was born so, mister. Feather kept grammar school.
Lucky man. In a campaign or two, put yourself down chaplain to the regiment. And I warrant you have read of warriors and heroes.
Yes, that I have. I have read of Jack the Giant Killer, and the Dragon of Wantley, and no, I believe that's all in the hero way, except once about a comet.
Wonderful knowledge. Well, my heroes, I'll write a word to the king of your good intentions, and meet me half an hour hence at the Two Magpies.
We will, Your Honor, we will.
Will.
But stay, for fear I shouldn't see you again in the crowd, clap these little bits of ribbon into your hat.
Our hats are none of the best.
Well, meet me at the Magpies, and I'll give you money to buy new ones.
Bless Your Honor.
Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Jack! So here comes one would make a grenadier. Stop, friend, will you list?
Who shall I serve under?
Under me, to be sure.
Isn't Lieutenant O'Connor your officer?
Yes, and I am commander over him.
What? Be your sergeants greater than your captains?
To be sure we are. 'Tis our business to keep them in order. For instance now, the general writes to me, Dear Sergeant, or Dear Trounce, or Dear Sergeant Trounce, according to his hurry. If your lieutenant does not demean himself accordingly, let me know. First, General Deluge.
And do you complain of him often?
No, hang him. The glad is good-natured at the bottom, so I pass over small things. But harkee, between ourselves, he is most confoundedly given to wenching.
Please, Your Honor, the doctor is coming this way with his worship. We are all ready and have our cues.
Then, my dear Trounce, or my dear Sergeant, or my dear Sergeant Trounce, take yourself away.
Zounds! The lieutenant has smell of the black hole already.
I thought I saw some of the cutthroats.
Oh, I fancy not. There is no one but honest Humphrey. Ha! Odds life, here come some of them. We'll stay by these trees and let them pass.
Oh, the bloody-looking dogs.
Hello, friend. Do you serve Justice Credulous?
I do.
Are you rich?
No.
Nor ever will be with that old stingy booby. Look here. Take it.
What must I do for this?
Mark me, our lieutenant is in love with an old rogue's daughter. Help us to break his worship's bones and carry off the girl. You are a made man.
I'll see you hanged first, you pack of scurry villains.
What, sirrah? Do you mutiny? Lay hold of him.
Nay then, I'll try your armor for you.
Oh, quarter.
Trim them! Trounce them! Break their bones, honest Humphrey! What a spirit he has!
Aqua Fortis, Con, betray your master. What a miracle of fidelity.
Aye, and it shall not go unrewarded. I'll give him 6 pence on the spot. Here, honest Humphrey. As for yourself, as for this bribe, such trash is best in the hands of justice. Now then, Doctor, I think I may trust him to guard the women. While he is with them, I may go out with safety.
Doubtless you may. I'll answer for the lieutenant's behavior whilst honest Humphrey is with your daughter.
Aye. She shall go nowhere without him. Come along, honest Humphrey. How rare it is to meet with such a servant. Why, you little truant, how durst you wander so far from the house without my leave? Do you want to invite that scoundrel lieutenant to scale the wall and carry you off?
Lord Papa, you are so apprehensive for nothing.
Why, hussy.
Well, then, I can't bear to be shut up all day, so, like a nun, I am sure it is enough to make one wish to be run away with. And I wish I was run away with. I do. And I wish the lieutenant knew it.
You do? You, hussy? Well, I think I take pretty good care of you. Here, Humphrey, I leave this lady in your care. Now, you may walk about the garden, Miss Pert, but Humphrey shall go with you wherever you go. So mind, honest Humphrey, I am obliged to go abroad for a little while. Let no one but yourself come near her. Don't be shamefaced, you booby, but keep close to her. Now, miss, let your lieutenant or any of his crew come near you if they can.
How this booby stares after him.
Lauretta.
Not so free, fellow.
Lauretta. Look on me.
Not so free, fellow.
No recollection?
Honest Humphrey, be quiet.
Have you forgot your faithful soldier?
Oh, preserve me.
'Tis my soul, your truest slave, passing on your father in this disguise.
Well, now I declare this is charming. You are so distinguished, my dear lieutenant, and you look so delightfully ugly. I'm sure no one will find you out. You know I am under your protection. Papa charged you to keep close to me.
True, my angel. Thus, let me fulfill.
Oh, pray now, dear Humphrey.
Nay, This is what old Mitimus commanded.
Laurie, Hey! What the devil's here?
Uh,
Not a kiss now. Maybe later. Oh.
Your very humble servant, honest Humphrey. Pray don't let me interrupt you.
Good papa. Now that's so good-natured. Indeed, there is no harm. You did not mean any rudeness, did you, Humphrey?
no, indeed, miss. His worship knows there is naught in me.
I know that you are a lying, canting, hypocritical scoundrel, and if you don't take yourself out of my sight...
Indeed, papa. Now I'll tell you how it was. I was sometime taken with a sudden giddiness, and Humphrey, seeing me beginning to totter, ran to my assistance, quite frightened, poor fellow, and just took me in his arms.
Oh, was that all? Nothing but a little giddiness, eh?
That's all, indeed, your worship. For seeing Miss change color, I ran up instantly.
Oh, 'twas very kind in you.
And luckily recovered her.
And who made you a doctor, you impudent rascal, eh? Get out of my sight, I say, this instant, or by all the statutes.
Now, papa, you frighten me, and I am giddy again. Oh, help!
Oh, dear lady, she'll fall.
Oh,
Zoons! What before my face? Why then, thou miracle of impudence! Mercy on me! Who have we here? Murder, robbery, fire, rape! Gunpowder! Soldiers! John! Susan! Bridget!
Good sir, don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm.
Thieves! Robbers! Soldiers!
You know my love for your daughter.
Fire! Cut throats!
And that alone.
Treason! Gunpowder! Now, scoundrel, let her go this instant.
papa, you killed me.
Honest Humphrey, be advised. I miss this way, if you please.
Nay, sir. But hear me.
I'll shoot.
And you'll be convinced.
I'll shoot.
How injurious.
I'll shoot, and so your very humble servant, honest Humphrey Hum.
Well, I think my friend is now in a fair way of succeeding. Ah! I warrant. He is full of hope and fear, doubt and anxiety. Truly, he has the fever of love strong upon him. Faint, peevish, languishing all day with burning, restless nights. Ah! Just my case. When I pined for my poor dear Dolly. When she used to have her daily colics and her little doctor be sent for, then would I interpret the language of her pulse, declare my own sufferings in my receipt for her, send her a pearl necklace in a pill box or a cordial draught with an acrostic on the label. Well, those days are over. No happiness lasting, all is vanity. Now sunshine, now cloudy. We are, as it were, king and beggar. Then what avails?
Oh, doctor.
Oh,
Ruined and undone.
the pride of beauty?
I am discovered.
The
And
gaudy palace?
the
The
justices
pompous wig?
is more
The
enraged
gilded
than
cane?
ever. Why, doctor!
Hey!
Confound your morals! I tell you, I am discovered, discomfited, disappointed.
Indeed, good luck, good luck! To think of the instability of human affairs, nothing certain of this world. Most deceived when most confident, fools of fortune all!
My dear doctor, I want at present a little practical wisdom. I am resolved this instant to try the scheme we were going to put into execution last week. I have the letter ready. I only want your assistance to recover my ground.
With all my heart. I'll warrant you I'll bear a part in it. But how the deuce were you discovered? Huh?
I'll tell you as we go. There's not a moment to be lost.
Heaven send we succeed better, but there's no knowing.
Very true.
We may and we may not.
Right.
Time must show.
Certainly.
We are but blind guessers.
Nothing more.
Thick-sighted mortals.
Remarkably.
Wandering in error.
Even so.
Futurity is dark.
As a cellar.
Men are moles. Hey!
Come on.
Odds life, Bridget. You are enough to make one mad. I tell you, he would have deceived a Chief Justice. The dog seemed as ignorant as my clerk, and talked of honesty, and if he had been a churchwarden.
Nonsense. Honesty. What had you to do, pray, with honesty? A fine business you have made of it with your Humphrey Hum. And Miss, too. She must have been a privy to it. Lauretta. Aye, you would have called her so, but for my part I never knew any good come of giving girls these heathen Christian names. If you had called her Deborah, or Tabitha, or Ruth, or Rebecca, or Joan, nothing of this had ever happened. But I always knew Lauretta was a runaway name.
Gosh, you're a fool.
No, Mr. Credulous, it is you who are a fool, and no one but such a simpleton would be so imposed on.
My zoons, madam, how durst you talk so? If you have no respect for your husband, I should think unus quorum might command a little difference.
Don't tell me. Unus fiddlestick. You ought to be ashamed to show your face at the sessions. You'll be a laughing stock to the whole bench, and a byword with all the pig-tailed lawyers and bag-wigged attorneys about town.
Is this language for His Majesty's representative? By the statutes, it's high treason and petty treason, both at once.
A letter for your worship.
Who brought it?
A soldier.
Take it away and burn it.
Stay. Not you're in such a hurry. It's some it is some canting scroll from the lieutenant, I suppose. Let me see. Aye, 'tis signed O'Connor.
Well, come read it out.
Revenge is sweet.
It begins so, does it? I'm glad of that. I'll let the dog know I'm of his opinion.
And though disappointed of my designs upon your daughter, I have still the satisfaction of knowing I am revenged on her unnatural father. For this morning, in your chocolate, I had the pleasure to administer to you a dose of poison? Mercy on us!
Oh, no tricks, Bridget. Come. You know it is not so. You know it is a lie.
Read it yourself.
Pleasure to administer a dose of poison. Oh, horrible, cutthroat villain! Bridget!
Lovey, stay. Here's a postscript. N.B. 'Tis not in the power of medicine to save you.
Odds my life, Bridget. Why don't you call for help? I've lost my voice. My brain is giddy. I shall burst, and no assistance. John! Laurie! John!
You see, love, what you've brought on yourself.
Your worship?
Stay, John. Did you perceive anything in my chocolate cup this morning?
Nothing, your worship. Unless there was a little grounds.
What color were they?
Blackish, your worship.
Aye, arsenic. Black arsenic. Why don't you run for Dr. Rosy, you rascal?
Now, sir?
Oh, love, you may be sure 'tis in vain. Let him run for the lawyer to witness your will. My life.
Zoons! Go for the doctor, you scoundrel! You are all Confederate murderers!
Oh, here he is, your worship.
Now, Bridget, hold your tongue, and let me see if my horrid situation be apparent.
I have but just called to inform. Hey, bless me! What's the matter with your worship?
There, he sees it already. Poison in my face, in capitals. Yes, I'm sure job for the undertakers now.
Oh, alas, doctor.
Peace, Bridget. Why, doctor, my dear old friend, do you really see any change in me?
Change. Never was man so altered. How came these, black spots on your nose?
Spots on my nose?
And that wild stare in your right eye.
In my right eye?
Aye, and alack! How you are swelled!
Swelled?
Oh, aye. Don't you think he is, madam?
Oh, 'tis in vain to conceal it. Indeed, love, you're as big again as you were this morning.
Oh,
Yes, I feel it now. I'm poisoned. Doctor, help me. For the love of justice, give me life to see my murderer hanged.
what?
I'm poisoned, I say.
Speak out, speak out.
What? Can't you hear me?
Your voice is so low and hollow, as it were, I cannot hear a word you say.
Oh, I'm gone, then. Hic jacet. Many years of one of Majesty's justice.
Read, doctor. Ah, love, the will. Consider my life. How soon you will be dead.
No, Bridget, I shall die by inches.
I never heard such monstrous iniquity. Oh, you are gone indeed, my friend. The mortgage of your little bit of clay is out, and the sexton has nothing to do but to close. Oh, we must all go, sooner or later, high and low. A debt's a debt. His mandamus binds all alike. No bail, no demurrer.
Silence, Dr. Croker. Will you cure me, or will you not?
Oh, alas, my dear friend, it is not in my power. But I'll certainly see justice done on your murderer.
I thank you, my dear friend, but I'd rather see it myself.
Aye, but if you recover, the villain will escape.
Will he? Then indeed it would be a pity you should recover. I'm so enraged against the villain. I can't bear the thought of escape in the halter.
Oh, that's very kind of you, my dear. But if it's the same thing to you, my dear, I had as soon recover notwithstanding. What, doctor? No assistance?
In fact, I could do nothing. Oh, but there's the German quack whom you wanted to send from town. I met him at the next door, and I know he has antidotes for all poisons.
Fetch him, my dear friend, fetch him. I'll get him a diploma if he cures me.
Well, there's no time to be lost. You continue to swell immensely. Oh!
What, my dear? Will you submit to be cured by a quack nostermonger? For my part, as much as I love you, I had rather follow you to your grave than see you owe your life to any but a regular bred physician.
Well, I'm sensible of your affection, dearest, and be assured nothing consoles me in my melancholy situation so much as the thoughts of leaving you behind.
Great luck! Oh, met him passing by the door. Oh,
Where to suppose him?
He desires me to feel your pulse.
Can't he speak English?
Not a word.
Io Vivian mortem sunum.
He says, you have not 6 hours to live.
Oh, mercy! Does he know my distemper?
I believe not.
Or tell him 'tis black arsenic they have given me.
Heneable ili arsneca.
Oh, here. Pesonatus.
What does he say?
He says you are poisoned.
Oh, we know that. But what will be the effect?
Oh, quid effectum?
Diable tutellum.
He says you'll die presently.
Oh, horrible. What, no antidote?
Juram benecare fod bono fulum.
What does he say? I must row in a boat to Fulham?
He says he'll undertake to cure you for £3,000.
3,000 pounds? 3,000 halters? No, love, you shall never submit to such impositions. Die at once and be a customer to none of them.
Oh,
I won't die, Bridget. I don't like death.
Pshaw, there's nothing in it. A moment, and it's over.
Aye, but it leaves a numbness behind that lasts a plaguey long time.
Oh, my dear, pray consider the will.
Oh, my father, what is this I hear?
Quidam siam morium deus talum rosum.
the doctor is astonished at the sight of your fair daughter.
How so?
Dam salum levios from suvum risubiani.
He says that he has lost his heart to her, and that if you will give him leave to pay his addresses to the young lady, and then promise your consent to the union if he should gain her affections, he will, on those conditions, cure you instantly without fee or reward.
Devil! Did he say all that in so few words? A fine language it is. Well, I agree, if he can prevail on the girl. And that I am sure he never will.
Greal.
Right on bottom.
He says you must give this under your hand while he writes you a miraculous receipt.
Do it, Mama. Tell me the meaning of this.
Don't speak to me, girl. A natural parent.
There, Doctor. There's what he requires.
And here's your receipt, huh? Read it yourself.
Hey. Oh, what's here? Plain English?
Read it out. A wondrous nostrum. I'll answer for it.
In reading this, you are cured by your affectionate son-in-law, O'Connor, who, in the name of Beelzebub, Sirrah, who are you?
Your affectionate son-in-law, O'Connor, and your very humble servant, Humphrey Hum.
False, you dog! You are not my son-in-law, and I'll be poisoned again, and you shall be hanged. I'll die, Sirrah, and leave Bridget my estate.
Aye, pray do, my dear. Leave me your estate. I'm sure he deserves to be hanged.
He does, you say. Harkee, Bridget, you showed such a tender concern for me when you thought me poisoned that for the future I am resolved never to take your advice again in anything.
Oh,
So, do you hear, sir? You are an Irishman and a soldier, ain't you?
I am, sir, and proud of both.
Two things on earth I most hate. So, I tell you what. Renounce your country and sell your commission,
Ooh.
and I'll forgive you.
Lord.
Harkee, Mr. Justice. If you were not the father of my Lauretta, I would pull your nose for asking the first, and break your bones for desiring the second.
Aye, you're right.
Is he? And I'm sure I must be wrong. Here, sir, I give my daughter to you, who are the most impudent dog I ever saw in my life.
Oh, sir. Say what you please. With such a gift as Lauretta, every word is a compliment.
Well, my love, I think this will be a good subject for us to quarrel about for the rest of our lives.
Why, truly, my dear, I think so, though we are seldom at a loss of that.
This is all as it should be. My Alexander, I give you joy, and you, my little goddaughter. And now my sincere wish is that you may make just such a wife as my poor dear Dolly. St. Patrick's Day, or The Scheming Lieutenant, a farce, by Richard Brinsley Sheridan. And the players are, in no particular order: Lieutenant O'Connor was played by Ollie Phillips. Dr. Rosy and a soldier was played by Jacqueline Elisabeth. Justice Credulous and a soldier was played by Paul Uhler. Sergeant Trounce and servant was played by Kealoha Petersen. Corporal Flint, Lauretta. A countryman and a soldier was played by Hayley Elisabeth. Mrs. Bridget Credulous and a soldier was played by Carla Ryan. This was a Jaillot Théâtre production.